Hello and welcome back to the Retro Bike Shed. It's been a little while since I've last put a video out. To be honest, I haven't had a lot to do in here. There's not really much changed, as you can see. But I have been absolutely flat out busy with work and other things around the house and in the garden. So yeah, hence why I've not really put much content out. Quick update on the Kona, the winter bike that I built in the last video. This thing's great, absolutely great. I have changed the seat post and the saddle. That black and yellow Boardman saddle that I had on there, that was just, well, it was like sitting on a concrete slab, if I'm honest. This one's a bit more softer on my old cheeks. But yeah, other than that, it's going great. Not had no issues. Absolutely fine. I've done around about 170 miles on her so far since I've done my video, or since I rebuilt her. So, and yeah, everything's great. Everything's great. So the eager-eyed amongst you would notice that the Voodoo frame is gone. I've sold that. That's moved on. A little bit too new for me, that one was. And also the 1993 Kona Hahana that was up there, where was hung up by the Specialized has also moved on with its Project 2 forks. I had somebody come round, having a look round. They'd come actually to buy a couple of components off me. I had a Shimano 105 set that I picked up nice and cheap, and for a road bike obviously, and yeah, they came and picked them up for me, and they spotted the Kona and fell in love with it there and then. Offered me some good money for it, so I let her go. If you remember back in my first video, I think it was, I said about the 1995 Kona Kilauea I've got. That is actually due to be picked up. It was due last week to be picked up, but I just haven't had time from the Sandblasters. So that'll be coming up very soon in a future video. It's a complete respray job on that one. So yeah, but anyway, back to today. What we're up to today. Excuse me. Right, here I've had somebody bring in one of these, a Calibre, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, Two-Two. I believe this is a mountain bike from 2013. He just generally wants the brakes looking at. He wants the gears sorting out. There's lots of grease and muck and oil. Oh, it's a bit of a mess. Basically, he just wants it a quick going through and a bit of a clean up. He doesn't want a full strip apart, complete bearing service or anything like that. He just wants me to look at the brakes and look at the gears. Usually I start the videos off with these bikes on the stand. Unfortunately, that seat post is seized, so it's going to be a case of a good bit of oil, a bit of maintenance spray. Let that soak in for a minute, and then try and get that off, or get it up at least. So yeah, but there we go. Not bad little bike actually. I believe these are made for I think it was Go Outdoors, was it? I can't remember now. I don't know a hell of a lot about them, but it's quite a good spec to be fair. But we'll get that seat post unstuck, get her up on the stand, and then we'll run through it. Alright, catch you in a bit. So here it is. That one stuck too bad come the end. That maintenance spray soon sorted that out, so put a little bit of grease around the inside of the tube now, so hopefully we'll stop that from being getting seized up in the future. So where are we? Yes, so 2013. I've looked into it a bit more now. 2013 Calibre Two-Two mountain bike, 26-inch wheels. Very good spec actually for looking at the retail, the original retail price, this was only £400, brand new, and they seem to hold their money as well. Looking around at like eBay, etc., they go anything between sort of 150 and 225 sort of thing. But I can understand why. It's a very good spec, to be fair. Massive tyres on it. Massive tyres. They're 26 inch by 2.3. Big chunky WTBs. This front one is the original by the looks of it, or according to the spec sheets. The rear one's been replaced quite recently by the looks of it as well. Yeah, this is a Van Dorn. Yeah, very good. But yeah, the spec wise, I mean, I was amazed for a £400 bike. You know, I mean, we start off at the front here. We've got a Cane Creek headset. Nice short dumpy 70mm stem. Got a set of Shimano hydraulic disc brakes. Shimano Dior. I believe this is a 3x9 setup. So what's that? It's 27 gears, isn't it? RockShox XC28 with lockout, and the lockout on this one actually works. We've got preload adjustment as well on there. It's a very bloody good, very good spec bike for the money, you know. For the money, I just can't believe that. Even new. I mean, sub £500, and you've got very good spec on it. Triftive bars, Triftive crankset. This is where it gets to sub 500, and we got Shimano Cura front derailleur, Shimano Dior on the back. WTB saddle. So yeah, I mean, like I say, for a sub £500 bike, very good spec, and they are holding their money second hand, which is quite nice to see. Anyway, so yeah, this one needs just a clean. This is what the customer wants, obviously. Well, I say customer, I'm not business, but you know, I do the servicing and that. But yeah, bit of a clean. All this is just caped in gunk. I wouldn't have said it's ever been cleaned. It's just been oiled heavily. So I will be taking all this off and giving it a good thorough clean up. And then maybe the gears will shift properly. The guy that's brought it to me has complained about the gears shifting. They're not. He's only got a few gears on the back. It won't shift otherwise. So we'll look at the cables as well. Give it all a good clean up. No grinding or noises coming from there. Another thing he's reported as well is when he pulls the front brake on, there's shaking from the front. Now, I don't actually know a hell of a lot about disc brakes. So, I'm thinking it could be the disc, it could be the pads. They could even just want bleeding. I don't know. I don't know a hell of a lot about these. Like I say, I usually work on the older stuff. So stuff that was a long time before disc brakes. But all we can do is give it a go, innit? We'll take it all off and have a look. So, right. I'll catch you in a bit. So that's the crankset and the rear wheel and everything off. Unfortunately, I've just had to get hold of the customer, or the fella that owns the bike, should I say. I keep saying customer. Look at the state of this. Now, there's no play in it, but listen. Those bearings are dry, so I've advised him on a replacement bottom bracket, but we'll see. I think he's trying to keep the costs down, so I will clean it up and wait for him to get hold of me, get back to me with an answer. So I don't think he does a hell of a lot on the bike, to be fair. So I mean, as much as I wouldn't want one of my bikes going out like that, if he doesn't want it replaced, then he doesn't want it replaced. So it's up to him, innit? Anyway, right, let's crack on, do a bit more. Right, so that's the frame. Stripped back as far as I'm going to go with it, or as far as I need to go with it. All cleaned up, all washed down, degreased, and looking loads better. Nice and clean. Ideal for the guy. I have spoken to him. He has decided to replace the bottom bracket. Luckily I have one here in stock, exactly the same, brand spanking new. So that'll be going in. So it's the right decision, really. I mean, I wouldn't want my bike coming back to me with a bottom bracket grinding like that. So yeah, she's cleaned up fairly well for a 10-year-old bike. She looks good. Obviously there's a lot of marks around it. It's had quite some quite heavy use, I think. It was caked thick with mud grease and oil. So, but yeah, happy days. Now I've got to move on to the wheel set. I've had this soaking in degreaser, but it is thick, really thick. So I'm going to be taking this cassette off and using some industrial strength degreaser and hot water. I'm going to soak it in that and then give it a good clean up. So I'm going to crack on. I'll catch you in a bit. Alright, so wheel set done, cleaned up nicely. Got the parts up here now all cleaned up nicely as well. The light's not very good. Let's see if I can do something about that. Yeah, it's all cleaned up nicely. Chain looks new again. So, just a case of putting it all back together. New bottom bracket to go on. So yeah, let's crack on, get it put back together, get the gears all tuned up and ready to go. I think it's going to be happy with that. Happy days. Right, I'll catch you in a bit. fella was hoping to get away with having to replace the cables, but they're so old and stretched. There's a kink in that one as well, which doesn't help, that I just cannot get these gears tuned up properly. So, new cable time, it is. So the guy with this bike has also complained about the levers being too far away, the reach on the levers, so I'm just going to adjust these up as well. So on the inside of these levers there's actually a tiny little Allen key, and this is the adjustment for the levers. It's fairly simple to do, you just wind it and wire it. There we go. One Calibre Two-Two mountain bike done. Quick service, clean up, good clean up. It needed a good clean up. It was caked in grime, absolutely thick with it. And yeah, good clean up. Spot of oil, spot of grease, new gear cable, and a gear adjustment. New bottom bracket. I was desperate need of a new bottom bracket. And now everything runs smoothly and quietly. Spot on. So happy with that. Hopefully the guy that owns the bike will be happy with that as well. Should be running like a new bike now. But yeah, other than that guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe, comment. Does good for the channel. Keeps me inspired as well to keep videoing these little services, etc., and bike repairs and that. So, but hey ho, yeah, you know the usual. Catch you next time. Cheers.